Mind your business. It's a phrase I know most of us have probably used once or twice growing up in an attempt to assert our autonomy. But what if we should really be saying it to ourselves? This is one of the very first things my mentor and I discussed when we began our work together. Her teacher taught her, and she passed it down to me, to mind your business. But minding your business as an adult is much different than what we were saying as a kid. Minding your business takes a lot of effort, a lot of confidence, and a lot of self-care. It's not about telling others to leave you alone. It's about letting others believe what they want, say what they want, do what they want, and not let it affect you. It's their business, not yours. You are minding your own business. Because the truth is, you cannot change what others think, feel, or say about you. All you can really do is focus on what you think, feel, or say about yourself. Others are going to talk. Others are going to have opinions. Others are going to do, say, or believe whatever it is they want to do, say, or believe. And honestly, it's none of your business. Let them have their thoughts. I know it can be concerning to you in the moment. Trust me, I've just gone through a lot of it. But at the end of the day, it's truly none of your business. When you become the topic of covert conversation, disguised digs, or outright rude behavior, it more often than not has nothing to do with you and more to do with those who are talking. And the sooner we can learn this, the sooner we can learn to mind our own business, the sooner we can accept that we can't change how others see us, the sooner we will find peace in our everyday life. Let's talk about it. Hi, welcome back to another episode of Intentional Living with Courtney Meyers. I'm your host, the founder and creator of the Intentional Home and Living, Courtney Meyers, and today we're talking all about the concept of minding your own business. Now, the concept of minding your own business is very different than what we would say as children, just to mind your business. That's just saying, leave me alone, let me be, let me do what I want to do, you don't need to be involved. Minding your own business as an adult means to ignore the gossip. It means to let people say what they're going to say, believe what they're going to believe, do what they want to do, talk about you if they want to talk about you. And at the end of the day, it's none of your business. Everyone is going to have feelings and thoughts towards people that you can't control. I can't control what someone is saying about me. I can't control the thoughts people have about me. All I can control is how I feel and what I think about myself. And I could display that to my best ability and hope that others see it. But if they don't, that's okay. That's up to them. I cannot make someone think something of me that they don't want to think. And a lot of times when people are talking about you, they're not even talking about you. They're talking about something that resonates with them. They're talking about something that they're projecting upon you. It's usually something, which I read about today even, that they are talking about their own insecurities. They see something in you that reminds them of their own insecurities. Now, this does not mean that it is easy to stand by and watch people talk about you, or know that people are gossiping about you, or have that feeling that you are the topic of conversation. I just experienced this quite a few times where I would walk into a room and the conversation would stop or abruptly change. You just know that you were being gossiped about, or that you were being talked about, or whatever the people in the room that you just walked into were talking about is not for your ears because they don't want you to hear it. And it feels bad. It does not feel good. So when that happens, it is easy to feel hurt. It is easy to wonder what is being said. It is easy to go within. But in those moments, you have to take a step back and you have to remember that it doesn't really matter. It doesn't change who you are. It doesn't change your life. Like I said, I did experience quite a bit of this recently, and I just had to step out of the space. I had to step out of the room and remind myself, it is okay. I am me. I am safe. And it is none of my business what these people think. Even if they are people that love you, even if it is your family, people are going to talk. Gossip is human nature. I mean, there are magazines, there are shows. Entertainment revolves around gossip. doesn't mean that it is right. I think we need to refrain from gossiping more. We need to worry more about ourselves. We need to worry more about what's going on in our lives and less of what's going on in other people's lives. When we are talking about other people, it is a distraction. I find myself doing it all the time, and I am constantly reminding myself, it is my intention right now to stop gossiping, to stop talking about other people, to find better things to talk about. There are so many great things we can talk about. There are so many different ways we can contribute to the world. But when we're talking about other people or we're putting other people down, it just doesn't add anything. It doesn't add any value. It doesn't actually make you feel good. I think when I find myself on the other end where I have been gossiping, I don't feel good about myself. I don't feel good when I leave that conversation. I actually feel bad. So if you find yourself checking your phone to see if, oh my goodness, did I butt dial someone? Did they hear what I say? That is a sign that maybe you shouldn't be talking that way. That is a sign that maybe you need to change your form of conversation. Butt dials are notorious for shedding light on gossip, for shedding light on people talking about you. Quite a few months ago, I had a message on my phone from my mom. So of course, I'm going to listen to it. And unfortunately, it was her at lunch with her girlfriends, and they were talking about their children. So I heard a lot of things that I probably shouldn't have heard. It didn't feel good. But you know what? Halfway through, I realized this is not for me. This is not my conversation. It really doesn't matter what is going on. Maybe this is just a way that my mom and her friends can connect, can find some common ground. It is whatever topic of conversation they are having, and maybe it's something that they need to contribute so they can feel a part of a group. So I turned it off and I deleted it so I couldn't go back to it. That was hard. That was a really hard thing to do. But you know what? I'm proud of myself because in that moment, I knew it was none of my business. It was not for my ears. But it's not only when it comes to overhearing conversations or walking into a room and having the conversation stop where we need to mind our own business. Sometimes we need to mind our own business even when things are being said directly to us. Even when people are making rude comments or sly judgments of sorts, and they will say it directly to your face. What I have found to be the best thing to do in moments like that is to let it slide off your back, kind of ignore it, maybe make a joke, let it pass. The thing is, when someone makes a rude comment or when someone makes a judgment or when someone makes a sly dig at you or someone you're with, they want a reaction. They're looking for a reaction. And the best thing to do is to not give them a reaction. That will stop what is happening. That will stop the conversation. And that will allow you to mind your business. Because if you give a reaction to whatever they are saying, you are just feeding into it. You are just feeding into their perception. You are just feeding in to whatever is going on in their own mind. And like I said, it's none of your business. But it doesn't stop the hurt when these things happen. It doesn't stop how you feel. So how do we recover when we become the object of gossip or criticism? I know for me, it is really hard because I internalize it. My head goes around and around and around. And our thoughts are so important. When we allow other people's opinions to penetrate our thoughts, it eats away at us. It doesn't allow us to live true. It doesn't allow us to live our most authentic self. It kind of feeds into whatever self-doubt, worry, or self-criticism you may have. And that is not healthy. That is not good. It takes a lot of confidence. It takes a lot of self-awareness. And it takes a lot of courage to let these things go, to let this stuff fall off your back, and to step into who you are, knowing full well who you are and what you bring to the table, whether it is seen or not. So there are a few techniques that I find that help me really get out of my head in these moments and really learn to mind my own business. One, which I talk about all the time, is journaling. When you write something down, it gets that energy out of your system. It gets it out of your aura. It gets it out of your field and just helps you release it. It is my number one go-to for pretty much everything, whether it's a manifestation, getting out of my head, or just making myself feel better. Journaling is key. But other ways you can do this is just to go into a room and let out a scream into a pillow, or allow yourself to cry if you feel hurt. It is okay to feel hurt. It is okay to feel your feelings. Any sort of release of emotion that works for you is definitely warranted in these instances. I don't think the best thing to do is to fight back. I don't think the best thing to do is to confront people when they are talking about you, because that is just going to put them on the defensive. And that is an argument for a fight. It feeds into whatever they are saying. It just makes them believe, yeah, I was right about that. So let it go. The best thing you could do is be like Frozen and let it go. Just don't internalize it. Do what you need to do to let it out. Whether that's cry, whether that's journal, whether that's scream into a pillow, whether that's going for a walk, another great way to move energy and thoughts out of your mind, whether that's going for a run, maybe you just need to push yourself past your limit so that your mind just goes blank. But even more important than moving that emotion out of your body or getting rid of those feelings that you may feel when you find yourself becoming the subject of gossip is to lead by example, is to be the person that doesn't gossip, is to put more of that energy out into the world. If you have nothing nice to say, then don't say it. I'm sure we've all heard that phrase before, whether it was from a teacher or a mom or a preacher or someone in our life. If you don't have anything nice to say, then don't say it. Don't join in on the gossip. Don't contribute to that energy. Remember, the energy you put out is the energy you get back. That is my intention this week for you, is to stop gossiping, is to set the intention that you don't talk about other people. It is okay to mention, good things about people, share wonderful things about people, lift people up, but don't talk badly about people. Don't compare yourself to other people. Other names should just not be in your mouth if you are not talking to them. If you can't say something to someone's face, then don't say it at all. If you have to stop the conversation when someone walks into a room, don't say it at all. If you are looking for someone over your shoulder to make sure they don't hear you, then don't say it at all. That is my intention. I actually set that intention after I found myself over and over becoming the subject of gossip. Recently, I came home and I set that intention for myself. I am working on it. It is not easy. It is one of the easiest ways to connect with people is to talk about others, is to put other people down. Because unfortunately, you can find great camaraderie and bonds when you are talking about other people with someone else. But you know what? If you are willing to talk about someone else with that person, what's to stop them from talking about you with someone else? Our behaviors are our behaviors. We act the same way with everyone. Nothing is going to change. So be the change. You make a difference. You make the change to stop talking about others, to stop gossiping, to mind your business. Mind your own business. I know it's a very simple phrase and it's much easier said than done, but it is so important to do. It will make you feel so much better. It will bring such peace to your life because changing other people's opinions and thoughts just is really hard to do. It's not possible. Just think how hard it is to change yourself, to make a change in your own life. It is not easy. You have to put a lot of thought and effort into it. So how do you think you can change someone else? This is a concept that comes up a lot with people in relationships and dating when someone wants to change something about someone else. You can't. It doesn't work that way. You have to put so much work into changing your own habits that you cannot possibly force someone else to change if they don't want to. People only change when they want to change. It's like that in so many different things. Just think of someone who struggles with addiction. They have to want to get the help. They have to want to change. You cannot force someone to make that change for themselves unless they are willing and ready to do it. So my advice, my intentional advice is to let it go. Let it slide off your back and just know you are a good person. You bring something valuable to the table, whether people see it or not, whether those around you see it or not. You are valuable. You are good. You don't deserve to be talked about in a poor way. And if someone wants to talk about you, that's their problem, not yours. It doesn't change your life. It shouldn't change how you are living your life. It doesn't change how you go about your day. It may make you feel bad in the moment, but let those feelings release. None of us are perfect. We are all going to find ourselves in situations like this. We are all going to find ourselves being the center of gossip or gossiping from time to time. Just catch yourself when you do and try and redirect. That's the best we can do. And that's all we can ask of ourselves, is to do our best, to constantly bring positive energy to every interaction and feel our best whenever we can, and let go of that bad energy. Let go of the things that don't serve you, which is gossip, especially about yourself. So that is my intention for you this week. Thank you so much for listening to Intentional Living with Courtney Meyers this week. I am really excited. Over the next 3 weeks, we are going to be having new intentional conversations with 3 new guests. I'm really happy to start getting more people on the podcast so that we can have these conversations about living more intentionally, about bringing more positive energy to the world, about being the best we can actually be and living a more authentic life. So next week, we are talking to Kristen Noel of Best Self Magazine. She is an intuitive divorce coach and an all-around amazing person. She has a wonderful story of this phoenix rising from the ashes, losing everything and intuitively finding her way back. I'm really excited to have that conversation. Following that, we will be talking to my mentor, Sonia Choquette, and I am hoping to talk to her all about how to get out of our own heads so that we can really listen to our intuition and live a spirit-led life like she's been teaching me and that she teaches so many others in this world. She's a great teacher and a great intuitive, and I'm really excited to bring her energy to the intentional world. So thank you once again. As always, you can find us at CourtneyMyers.com. That is where you can find all of our offerings, whether you want personal coaching, you want to embark on a breathwork practice, or even if you need help writing your book. I am a ghostwriter and I am working on quite a few very fun projects right now, as well as my own book. And coming soon, you will find our course on the website, Right from the Heart, helping you tap into your most authentic self, helping you speak your spirit and bring your words to life. So that is in the works. And you can find us on all of our social media sites and YouTube. So thank you once again, and I look forward to talking to you next week with my guest, Kristen Noel. Bye.